Hey guys, I'm here with another video, and so today what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain a little bit about altimeters and pressure altitude. So the standard altimeter setting is 2992, which is 59 degrees Fahrenheit, and 0 feet, which is sea level. That is when the pressure is standard to sea level. Now to figure out your altimeter setting, what you do is your true altitude. So let's say I'm at 1200 feet, that would be my true altitude, subtracted by your pressure altitude. Let's say your pressure altitude is 1,000 feet. Now legally this can't happen because you'll be at 200 feet. And the minimum safe distance you can fly is 500 feet. So that's just an example. So your density altitude would be 200 feet. That's what your density altitude would be. And therefore that density altitude is what your altimeter setting is. So since if 2992 is standard pressure at 59 degrees Fahrenheit and 0 feet, which is sea level, then the lower it is from 2992, you will have a high density altitude. And if it's from 2993, the lower the density altitude is. So right now at my field that I fly out of, the current altimeter is 2997 inches of mercury. Altimeters are always in inches of mercury. Now, other places like Europe or Asia, they use QNH. Now, I don't know much about the QNH, but I do know they use the QNH system. So, since the altimeter at my local field is 2997, I currently have a negative 449 foot density altitude, which is good for an airplane because an airplane wants a negative density altitude so it can climb faster. Cold weather likes airplanes. You can climb faster and a lot. Now, in the summertime, since I live in the south, I usually have these really high density altitudes that can range from anywhere from 1,500 feet to 3,000 feet. And that affects performance on a hot day, and it's a pain in the butt to climb out of. So in reality, since 2997 is my altimeter setting, I would subtract my field elevation, which is 264 feet, from my pattern altitude, which is 1,200 feet, and therefore you get your density altitude, which would be 449 feet negative. I'll go more into detail about this maybe later on, but that's just a quick video on what an altimeter and pressure and true altitude have to deal with. So I hope I can explain this more. I hope everyone has a semi-idea on what pressure, altitude, and the altimeter actually does. The altimeter is your height above ground level corrected for your pressure altitude. Yeah. So I hope that makes sense. I'll go more into detail later. Until then, I'll catch you on the flip side.